And hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Truth About Trading. Morpheus in the house, giving you another dose of the red pill, the truth about trading by the book. Right? So we're relying on luck, or we're not relying on luck, we're relying on skill, based on logic, math, and statistics. So, super excited to do this a little bit later with you guys today because we are going to be taking advantage of the NFP. This is going to be in about 10 minutes from now. Oh, wait a second. Let's actually, there we go, pick the right kind of week. And there we go, Wednesday, 9 p.m. This is GMT plus 3 time. We're going to have, right, as you can see, it's 8:50 my time right here. This is in Forex Factory. You do have this ability to click here and select the appropriate time zone to make sure that the information reflects in your time. And actually, wait, I did yesterday mention that there's going to be GBP CPI, and you know what, let's take a look. I didn't even, I spent most of the day with my kids. GBP, I don't know, let's see, GBP JPY or GBP CAD. I don't know, it really doesn't matter because we're looking in history here, right? Let's hide this. There we go. Oh, wait a second, something's off. Okay, there we go. And this was at about, oh no, wait a second, maybe GBP, let's go GBP CAD. There we go. All right, let's go back to 9. There it is. 9 o'clock in the morning, we see a massive spike. There was a bit of a retracement, continuation, and a bit of a retracement as well. Right? So if we take a look, the statistic was, remember that I do mention that we should keep in mind the previous month as well. But notice that the thing that moves the market is actually the difference between the forecast and the actual. So the forecast was 3.3, the actual is 3.4. That's good for the currency. And that's why we saw the GBP CAD, GBP being the first. It was good news, whoosh. And for about 3 minutes, it went up. And then 3 minutes, there was a bit of a retracement, about, I would say, like 25-30%. Um, but the usual thing that I would do is this is something that kind of happened, not even like in the first minute, but maybe in like, I don't know, bear with me. It's going to take a while to go back right now to 9 o'clock. But we're still going to see it. Where is it? It's 1 o'clock, right? There we go. Moving back. It's 10 o'clock, right? One more hour. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. We see that at 9 o'clock, there was a spike, like a push, a further push, right? This was like in 10 seconds, right? So 10 seconds it went here, then, another 10 seconds higher. Then there it is. On the 30th second, there was a bit of a retracement. So this is where you might want to consider to open a position based on the timer, because all right, so if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, so about here, so if you opened it at this point, uh well, no, not really, I mean, actually, you should have actually waited maybe in this case, because it wouldn't have really pulled back. If we look at 1 minute interval, and well, once again, we need to go back, but this one is going to be a little bit quicker. There it is, right? So there was a spike on the second minute. There was a bit of a retracement. So I don't know if you could have caught it here, and 60 seconds later, it closed somewhere here at a lower point, a bit of a retracement. You could have made some money. But yeah, that's why I always keep saying that the retracement will always happen, the pullback, but it's not always guaranteed that it's going to be on the first minute. And remember that GBP is the most volatile of all currencies. All right. Okay. Now, if you guys got any kind of questions about this, we can discuss it one-on-one in Telegram channel, you and me. So if anybody comes across this stream, just know that it's not really generalized, it is generalized actually for everybody the way we're speaking and discussing it now. But if you want to maybe see how this is applicable to you specifically, reach out based on your plans, your goals, your time factor, your emotional control, and things like that. this is something that you and I can discuss and tailor this, information to fit you specifically. So if you want to, kind of get your financial independence a little bit quicker, I usually, tell my friends, like, actually, yeah, Donald and Henry are, my stout followers now. We're good buddies because they started as my students, but they're my best buds now. Yeah, we trade together every single day. We, analyze certain signals, right? But essentially, I said that there's no such thing really as a signal. There is a analysis of the market, and that could have short, medium, and long-term consequences, right? But anyways, so if you want to be on the beach somewhere in like a year, just, trading for like 20, 30 minutes, and that's it, you got your daily, monthly, weekly kind of income, it's all possible. It's just something that requires a very specific kind of approach, and this is something that you and I can discuss at your leisure, right? So touch base with us in Telegram. Let's set up a schedule, or, set up a call with you and me with no obligations, with zero negative emotions, where we're just going to talk about really some logical things that would help you get on your way to greatness, or essentially financial independence. I don't really think that this is going to be the only instrument that you're going to need to use in order to achieve Bugatti level status. I can show you that 40% per day, and in live videos in the past, we've done like 40%, well, essentially like a significant amount, where we did with the tournament, right? We, kind of followed through with a particular pattern, with a particular approach, and we ended up in like 1 hour, $40 out of $100 balance. We ended up at like $40 ahead, which means that we made 40%. 40% per day. Get ready. 40% per day of your balance for 1 month will turn $1,000 into over 20 million. Mind-blowing statistic. So anyways, listen, in a couple of minutes, right, in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we're going to see a reaction in the euro dollar, or in any currency pair with the USD, to the federal funds rate. There's going to be economic projections. There's going to be a statement. All of that is going to be released right now in 2 minutes plus. But half an hour later, there's going to be a press conference. This is all planned. This is not really something that could create massive volatility, because it's carefully chosen words for the statement. Economic projections, this is actually something that could move the market, but we're looking for, if there's going to be a surprise, right? It's been 4.5% for a very long time now. But in less than 2 minutes from now, we're going to see if the actual comes out, if the actual statistic comes out bigger or smaller than the forecast. There might be justification about this with regards to economic projections and the statement, but it's unlikely. The thing is that it's probably going to be 4.5. However, once again, as I mentioned this, I'm not a mind reader or clairvoyant. I don't have insider information. We just analyze the market, and I can tell you that if it was the same like this for a while, we've been doing the NFPs that were wishy-washy, the CPIs and everything. It doesn't really mean that the economy is going to explode. If this is going to be the same, 4.5%. Some people may prefer that because they got used to it. All right, so 1 minute, there we go, less than 1 minute, we got 50, like 7 seconds. We're looking at euro dollar right now. There it is, 54 seconds from now, we're going to see the statistical release. The thing is that we don't even need any kind of indicators in this case, because you guys all know already that there's going to be a real legitimate reason why a whole bunch of people are going to buy or sell this asset right now. And afterwards, there's going to be an impulse. They're going to make some money, and there's going to be a retracement because they're going to close their positions, which is considered a sell. Now, I don't know if I want to go with the pending trades right now. I don't know, 1493. Let's do $10, right? 1493.97. All right, so let's go with 94 for a sell, and a 9. Wait a second, 97, 96. All right. Oh, might not get. I'm like, okay, I didn't get enough time. All right, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's give me a $100 for a retracement right now, but I think that I should probably go with with a 200 and a retracement at this point. Yeah, didn't really get a chance to, to open a buy position. Kind of had a brain fart. You know what? I think that I might even go with a 600 right here for a sell. All right, let's see. Maybe it's going to go further, so I'm going to actually wait. This is actually a really, yeah, 4.5, not really a big deal. It's not increasing, right? So it's not really a good thing for the currency. That's why we're seeing euro going up. But I think that, as I mentioned, there is a particular ceiling to this, and so I might lose, 100. And let's see if I'm going to lose even, 200 here. All right, so actually I might be making some serious money. I took a little bit aggressive approach, right? So we were talking about that this was over the course of a minute, but okay, so there we go. I lost 100. I'm probably going to lose 200 as well if it's going to be spike, retracement, and continuation. I won this, and let's see if I'm going to win 600 would be nice. Yeah, I think I'm like racing against the time because spike, retracement, continuation might be expected, though it's all based on, yeah, we made some serious freaking money today, baby. Oh, all right. So, you know what? As I mentioned, it's not something that you need any kind of indicators. You just need to know when something's going to happen. Now, here's the thing, right? When we click on this, we see the Federal Reserve. So this is where you click, and if you want to kind of peruse the economic projections, you could do that, right? But we really, most of the time we really focus on the technical analysis. So as I keep mentioning, this is the culmination, right? This is the culmination of all of the NFPs, CPIs, PPIs, PMIs, got all of these, acronyms, unemployment statistics, unemployment claims that are every Thursday. But it's actually no longer a high impact event. I think it's been moved down to relegated to Thursday. Not even that, right? Wait a second. So I think it maybe even got a little lowered because it's a weekly statistic. It's not really an important thing, but where's the really, usually it's every Thursday. Maybe it was bumped up to Friday. Consumer confidence. Oh, that's for euro. Wait a second. I'm a little confused. Every single Thursday, right there it is. Every single Thursday we should have United States, a weekly statistic that comes out. And I'm kind of curious if it was actually relegated to, really not important stat. Let's see. The USD bank. It's a bank holiday on Thursday. That's why maybe there is not going to be this week. Um, yeah, all right. So United States, yeah, all-day bank holiday. That's why there's not really the projection. So, anyways, but all of the statistics that we notice throughout the week, month, and even like maybe quarterly statistics, it all leads down to this decision whether to keep the interest rates raised, lowered, or kept the same. All right, so coming back to, fundamental reason. All right, let's see. This move was actually pretty big, right? Well, in comparison to the other candles, but we could take a look, right? So if we put the cursor here we see the pip value, or I'm sorry, the quote, right? The conversion rate, and it's 1496, and it went up to, right? There's the highest 1528. So, 96. 6 is the pip. If you add 4 pips, it turns into 15. So 4 pips plus 28, 32 pips. Not too shabby, but, $320 worth of profit with one standard lot right here. So not too bad, I guess, but that's it. It petered out, right? So there was a spike, retracement in the same minute. If I did, if I did, wait, not in tournaments, in pending trades. If I did manage to stop yammering and open the position for 4 pips higher, right? Because it was like 9.7, and I was like, wait a second, 9.7. So I couldn't really figure out for a split, quick enough that it should be 4 pips higher, should be like, the 15 instead of 14, whatever the hell it was. Yeah, there was like a 9.7 right here, and I should have opened it at 1500, right? So somewhere around here for a buy position, and I did open for a sell position 4 pips lower, right? It was like a 9.4. But I didn't open a one at 1500. In that case, it would have been in the money as well, right? So when we know that there's going to be a spike, when we know that there's going to be a massive movement, um, we could go pending orders, set, by asset price. There's 4 pips higher, 4 pips lower, and the only risk we're running is that if it goes up, and then afterwards has a massive retracement, and then it closes between. So then we'll lose both positions. But that hardly ever happens, and depending on what kind of macro statistic you choose, it's something that's going to, something that should work, right? Sometimes very rare that it does this goofy thing. And as I keep mentioning, there's never really a 100% guarantee. So that's why wait, hold on. Let me actually get back on the big screen. All right, let me tell you a story. I had a client who told me he has no time at all. He's so busy that he has no time to do technical analysis, to do fundamental analysis. And he's like, I want extra $500 worth of pocket money on the monthly basis, right? So he's looking for a little cash to go out with his friends to a couple of beers here, a couple of camping trip there, right? On the monthly basis, he was looking for extra $500 pocket money. And what ended up happening, I was like, well, dude, I mean, if you don't have any time to at least I don't know, learn one indicator, then the only thing that's available to you is NFP, right? And so what this man did was actually trade 12. He opened 12 positions. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because he opened more positions, but he traded 12 times in a year, right? So every first Friday of the month, he would open position. Like he would do a straddle strategy with Forex that I taught him. It's very simple. Also, basically, you open up and down with a very specific take profits and stop losses. I can explain to you once again if you guys ever want to hear about it in Telegram. I can actually show you in action. But he would do a straddle strategy, and then in binary options, he would open for a retracement. He did not lose. If I think like out of at the end of the year we did a tally, he was 10 times in the money out of 12. And essentially what happened though is, I mean, imagine the kind of control that you would need to have in order to lose today and to wait a whole month before you open a second step martingale. But the way it ended up is that even if he lost, he would lose very little because with straddle strategy, he would come in the money. Even if you missed a retracement, it would be a minimal loss. It would not be maximal, right? So there are certain, kind of advantages and disadvantages to every situation. But what I keep saying is that I'm not selling you a trick, right? I'm trying to get across to you the information that you would be able to use, like actually use, over the course of a long time to, steadily get into profit, right? You don't need ideal statistics. You don't need, I don't know, some sort of like super rich status where you have like $1 million and you start trading with $1 and then, you have crapload of martingale steps at your disposal to be able to, to make something of this, right? To get into profit. So as I keep mentioning, once again, no need for ideal statistic. This is actually something that you can see if you click on the top traders. Actually, let's take a look at them together right now one more time, right? So social trading right here, you click and you see top traders for the 24 hours. How the hell? Well, see, that's realistic right here, though I do think that he's been put in some seriously big positions because out of 89 trades, 56% success rate, and he's almost $8 grand in profit, right? 55, 59, Well, that's just lucky. 54, right? That sounds more reasonable, right? 24 trades, 54% success rate. Those still big positions, right? So there we go. 57, 55, 49. There we go. 49%, 175 trades. That sounds a bit, that sounds right. That sounds about right. Right, and if we go back, I mean, if we go down, we see 48% success rate, 51, 50, 54, 55. So these are real people. I mean, you can actually chat to them and discuss certain aspects maybe if they want to. But the idea is, once again, you don't need ideal anything. You need a bit of discipline in terms of not discounting 5% growth. $500, 5% growth each day. My first day will be like $25. Now, that's not a lot, but by the end of the month, you'll be looking at $2,000 profit. Or I'm sorry, $2,000 balance, which means that you'll have about $1,500 worth of profit if you just manage to get 5% per day. Now, that's something that's pretty cool. As a side income, I think that there's like nothing better. If you want to get this into a full-time, well, this is once again something that you and I can discuss. For active, passive kind of, money-making opportunities, it's a little bit more involved. But the door is open. Chats are open right now. Donald and Henry are here with me. They're here every single day. That's why we became very close. I'm hoping to become close with every one of you. And once again, that does not require you to trust me. You are able to, just get answers, full answers to your questions. And I do encourage you. To touch base. All right, so how much money did we make today? Right, we've lost 100, but we've won 18 right here, and we won. So I did only like. Wait a second, why was it? Oh, holy crap! It's only. Oh man, that's disappointing a little bit. I actually didn't even realize it was 59% return on investment. Wow. Actually, yeah, be careful about that. I didn't really pay attention to it because, well, it's usually higher, but during moments like this, when there's almost a guarantee reaction and the retracement, yeah, the return on investment, based on market makers making sure that you will always get paid, sometimes they will adjust based on the risk involved. So we ran very little risk opening these positions because we understood there's going to be a massive spike. We understood that people are going to cash out and there's going to be a retracement. So there it is, right? But so yeah, we've made like $370 in like 1 minute, right? Or barely, basically, yeah, about 1 minute. And so I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of happy with this result. However, the difference between the fundamental and technical analysis is that right now, we are, kind of watching this particular upward trend. But I'm in a different country, right? I'm in Cyprus right now, for now, and I don't know really how people are reacting to this in America. Right. So if we, and I don't know if this is something that's going to continue to move. Maybe there's certain speeches that I didn't hear. Maybe there's certain other aspects that are not known to me here. Right. I do have some clients. Actually, Donald is from Texas. Right. And, but, he's also he's got his own business. He's doing this a bit as a side income. And he's not really watching TV that often. Right. There's nothing really that's, this bad news only there. But point is that we don't know if there is other influencing factors that would be pushing this asset up for another 2 hours. All right, because it did reach. If we take a look at if we did take a look at the highest point, it did reach the highest point that it was at like 3 hours ago. Right, and if we take a look at, I don't know, maybe even a longer time to see where really, all right, so it does have a bit of, opportunity to climb to this level right here, right? So if we, when we did this in previous videos, we need to understand that it's not only the immediate trend, but also the points of interest in the past, right? So at this point, I was like, I would have been cautious because this was the only time it touched this since early in the morning, 10 o'clock. Right here, it also kind of did this at 5 o'clock in the evening, so it breached this point, and then, yeah, the next point of interest, also, notice that it bounced away here. Next point of interest would have been the highest point in recent past, which was here, and, yeah, the asset damn near reached that point and went back for a retracement. So there was something, maybe anticipation from, what are we talking about, 3 o'clock yesterday, right? Because today's the hell is today? Is today 18th? Yeah, today's the 18th. All right, so from 3 o'clock yesterday, there was maybe some sort of reason why the asset would be falling down to this. Actually, that's a big drop, right? When we're talking about 15.79 to 4, that's 100 pips, or I'm sorry, 110 pips. Right, so that's one standard lot, and you're looking at like $1,100 worth of profit if you opened the sell position here and it closed here. So that's pretty decent, right, over the course of one day. But there has to have been a reason for that, right? I mean, let's take a look. So today's Wednesday. Let's see, USD core retail sales was negative. Actually, yeah, wait a second. There we go. There we go. This spike right here, there was a negative news for the retail sales. You and I made some money here yesterday. There was a retracement, continuation a little bit, right? We're talking about for like 30 minutes. And then it kind of did its own thing, but it started to fall down afterwards quite aggressively and hit that low point. And, well, now we're looking at a possible retracement, though I'm not really, as I mentioned, not really following the fundamental news beyond the Forex calendar. I don't really watch, here in Cyprus, you don't really get up-to-date news about certain federal or, I don't know, state laws that might be impacting certain people to spend or not spend money. Though, as I mentioned, if you do want to, you could click on any economic calendar. You should be able to get, click on the links and maybe follow certain news and read about it. And if you guys ever want to do kind of in-depth look. However, this is something that you would do to take advantage of something like this. This is over a course of a day. So it's not for a couple of minutes worth of trading. Right, so if you're looking to open positions for, for a couple of hours, right, or even maybe you can go for, for a couple of days, right, or the max, really, what you'd be able to do here. This is maybe something that you should be able to, should be if you want to. Especially in OTC, I think you have a little bit more flexibility with regards of time picks. Yeah, in terms you can even do it for 5 seconds, but hold on. Because most of our guys are trading for, yeah, all right. So right now being 9 o'clock, 9:20, 9:18. So I'd be able to do it only for 4 hours into the future, right? So you can't really do it here, but you are able to go to Forex MT4, and maybe there's the different kind of settings for that instrument that you'd be able to trade there if you want to. Right now, we're still focusing a little bit more on, the binary options on the short term, right? Because most people, when we understand, I've been talking about this as well, most people don't have the time. Right now, we have this kind of like paradox. We're living in a time, wonderful technological time, where I have it's a 4-bedroom house that I live in, and every single room has a robot vacuum cleaner. Right? I don't have to do vacuum cleaning. That's awesome. And we got a dishwashing machine. We got clothes washing machine. We got the dryer. So we don't really do a lot of daily grind kind of thing. But I still have almost no free time. And imagine, I don't even work. This is the only thing I do to make money. Actually, well, trading is, part of it, but I got other investments as well now that are bringing in, enough money where I don't have to work. But still, free time with my 3 girls, with my kids, is a bit hard to come by. So maybe you're in the same boat, but maybe you got a job. Even if you don't have kids, you still got obligations and friends and everything like that. So this is why binary options is so freaking amazing because you don't really need a lot of time. You need to do a bit of technical analysis. We've been showing this, for over a course of past couple of, I don't know, maybe a month, every single day, every weekday, right? You click on all of the 92% OTCs and you start doing um, a little bit of analysis, right? So we got euro dollar OTC right now. What do we got? Okay, so if we're trading with 1 minute, I think really that 5-minute candles would probably be the max that I would start with to kind of ascertain if there is a particular trend. All right, so we do have a 1, 2, 3, a confirmed level of support right now, right? We can, maybe color it differently. We got a relatively nice, resistance level across here. We could, maybe we could duplicate this and set it across like this. So for a very long time, we could say that 1, 2, 3, we could even say 4, 5, right? For 5 points, we definitely have a very, very much an active, level of resistance. We got a, upward trend right now with 5-minute candles. We can take a look at 3 minutes. We can get maybe a slightly different picture, but nevertheless, it's still, kind of, valid. And if we're going to be trading right now, we can take a look at maybe other indicators like, maybe we can put super trend, kind of work with parabolic, but everything right now is pointing upwards, right? That's actually from this point right here. See, we got a crossing in the accelerator oscillator, which we discussed last Friday. The bars are building. We got an from shaft a signal to buy. We got parabolic that switched to the bottom. We got fractal on this candle. Man, this is as good as it gets, man. I love these kind of moments. And too bad that we missed it, right? But if we take a look with 1-minute candles, yeah, we'll see once again that somewhere here, there we go. We got once again a confirmation from, accelerator from shaft. We got the super trend went from sell to buy. We got parabolic. And yeah, I mean, this is it. If I was just, not yakking away about the important things as well. But if we could have ridden this train in the money, 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 in the money. There's your 5-10% right here. Boom. And right now it looks like it actually could be breaking through. On the short term, we got shaft that was here for a while, which makes me kind of concerned. Because it's switching very quickly. There's for two dots of parabolic and fractal on this said sell, but then it immediately came back down, said buy, but it's it's kind of sawing at this level, which means that I would probably still go back to 3 minutes and maybe take a look, or maybe even with 5 minutes and see if it's still with other indicators. Still, we just, with 5 minutes, we've just received a buy signal from accelerator and parabolic, and super trend has been with us for a buy signal for a while now. But the fact is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it touched, right? It could mean that this is like serious level of resistance, and if it's going to bounce back, it probably could go here and then, kind of squeeze and then pop. Whether it's going to pop right now, we don't really know yet. So we need more confirmation, especially if we're going to be trading with 1-minute candles. And let's actually do our usual thing, maybe with like $5. Let's, go back to our current time. There we go. Or there we go with the, so there we go with 11 and 00. All right, so let's see. Well, we got parabolic saying up. The only thing that kind of, what some traders, actually, I don't really like this word. I got anti kind of resistance to this word trader. Some investors will trade, right, will invest with a different mentality, not to find a few reasons to open the position, but find at least one reason not to open it. If you can't find a reason not to open it, then open it. But anyways, in my opinion right now, This is not something that I like, right? The fact that these are kind of tiny and it's barely crossing the line. It could just as easily go back under and go back up and go back under. So it could be cutting this level for a while. With 1 minute candles, what actually can happen is that it can go up, out, and then on the next couple of candles go back in. And what we will see on a 3 or 5 minute candle is a false breakout, a boom and a boom come back in. Right, so this is where 1 minute candles might be slightly at a disadvantage, and I can say that this has been going up for a very long time. That's another thing that would make me a bit, hesitant to invest, right? If we put it like this, we got kind of like a 1, that's kind of stretching the truth a little bit too. Maybe 3, or we could actually even go like this, and in that case would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. It kind of broke through, but it's going up, and I would say that this move is very aggressive. Look, time reference is important. So if we take from like 8 o'clock, right? It took from 8 o'clock to go from 1571 to, let's say, like 9, almost an hour later, 50 minutes to go to 79, or almost like 20 pips. Right, there was a bit of retracement, and then from 9 to like 9:18 or 9:20 right now, where actually we've been chatting for a while now, it moved much faster, right? 83 to 1619, right? So it's like 40 pips, 40 plus pips, if my math is right, right? So in half an hour, it moved way more than in like almost an hour that it did before. So this kind of movement cannot be sustained for long. So this is why I'm still inclined to think that this resistance level is going to be the moment where it's going to bounce back and it's going to continue to go down. So I'm looking for a breakout strategy somewhere here. This isn't really a good support level, just because it wasn't touched many times, right? So actually, just not to be confused, I'm going to remove it. So this is actually what's going on. Yeah, we got a sell signal right here. But again, right, we got a sell signal from shaft, we got a sell signal crossed over, but the fact that the bars are so small, see, this is a good buy signal right here, right? We got a nice downward movement, we got a nice upward movement, bars are building up, there was a shaft, there was super trend, there was parabolic, hell yeah, this would have been a great time to look at a buy, right? And, there it is, it proved. This is not really good. So here it was a sell signal, but shaft was on top. There we got a buy signal from parabolic, we got mixed signals from fractals, so it's all over the place. And this is why maybe once again going back to a slightly bigger interval to see what the asset is doing, and we're still seeing that it's sawing at this level. This isn't exact science. It doesn't really mean that right here this was definitely it, or oh no, couple of pips lower, this is the exact point. So we've got it kind of, I don't want to say shooting from the hip, because it's, across the tips of the, with 5 minutes across the tips of the wick, which is not usually something that's done. It's usually done at the bodies of the candles, right? But nevertheless, it's, these few pips is not really something that's going to matter. I think that in one of the videos that I've chatted to, talked about this, I said that some traders will do a parallel channel, right? They'll create a few pip discrepancy difference, right? Like this, for example, and they'll put it across, oh, sorry, 1 second, there we go. And they'll put it across the tops, right? They'll stretch it out, there's something that you can do. And they said that, well, when it's within here, it's like touching the line. So they're going to be waiting for it to break out, or, one way or another, to kind of get their signal. So they're still giving a few pips worth of leeway, for the up or down kind of, ideals here. All right, so we got, what do we got? This euro dollar OTC. So right now we're still getting, I'm still kind of waiting. I'm still waiting for a better signal. So it's all over the place with shaft, which is not really something that it does. Look, see, it's hardly ever does, it does the, the waves up and down. It hardly ever does one of these, and I don't know what the hell, how to read that. So I'm still thinking that, again, that it could even have a false breakout with 1 minute candle where it goes here, goes higher, and then for the next 3 minutes comes back under. All right, because in 5-minute candles, this will look as just one candle closed here, the other candle closed here. And that means that this level is not yet challenged, right? Because it's still considered a good level of resistance. It wasn't broken, right? So while we're waiting to see what the hell's going to happen here, no, not euro dollar, there we go, 92. All right, so what do we see here? What do we see? We see a relatively decent resistance level. All right, so let's see if I'm not cross-eyed or, whatever else you want to call it. All right, so there we go. Once again, not an exact science. This right here would be a false breakout. It's still something that could be considered a second point contact, as if it was just touching the line, because it went outside and then came right back inside on the second candle. So, once again, not an exact science. There is, kind of like, it doesn't break the validity of these signals if it's just, a little bit off. So let's see, we're still looking at 5 minutes. We're kind of looking that, hey, from 5 o'clock in the evening, the AUD USD was establishing the new lowest lows. And right now it looks like, it's still, we're looking at an upward, I don't know, once again, mixed signals. Not something that I like. Usually it's a little clearer. See, we got parabolic saying up, fractal saying up. We got super trend saying down, but super trend is going flat. But we do have the resistance level that's damn near close to a bounce back, right? So it could be touching and going back and down further, or we could actually copy this as well and see if we got a channel here. I don't know, somewhere. Yeah, we kind of have a channel here, right? It kind of stepped outside of this once or twice. Not ideal, right? Usually it would be good if it goes boom, 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 boom from each level. Here it went kind of like, sort of down here. Oh, broke out, psych, went back inside. Look, broke out, psych, went back inside. And then kind of, did this kind of downward thing. I think we could have had a decent support level, a resistance level here. And when it broke through at this point, there was a good signal from shaft, and we got a crossing, and we got a parabolic, but it also was short-lived, right? So 1, 2, and this is the third point contact, fourth point. I don't know. I don't know if I would feel comfortable here as well. Let's go back to euro dollar, see what's going on. There it is. There's a 3-minute, right? 3-minute false breakout. There it goes. It went outside, and if it closes here in 30 seconds, it's a false breakout, and we still need to wait. Though this is something that's giving me a bit of happy feelings, right? We got diminishing red bars, kind of hinting that there is going to be a crossing of the zero line, which means the shaft might be also giving us a little bit of good news in terms of, well, it did so already. There we go. In 1-minute candles, we got, let's take a position, right? Let's take a position with 0, 0. And let's take a position for $5. As I mentioned, not, I would probably be even more comfortable to do it with 3-minute expiration, because here, there we go. There we go. We got a 3-minute. Okay, we got a crossing of the zero line. All right, shaft is still here. We still got parabolic and super trend saying up. There was a bounce away though from the resistance level, so I might actually give it another couple of tries. With martingale being the next step, we go for the next minute, and in 22 seconds I'll probably open another position, though I might not need to. Alright, so let's see how it goes. So over the next 3 minutes, I do think that it should be lower than this point right here. So if I catch it early enough, and I might be, I don't know, really don't like, even if I win here, God, I really don't like winning. No, I didn't. Okay. So let's go for 10. Still going down. Let's go back to 3 minutes. Right, kind of see. All right, we still got, we got no other confirmation. We got a flat, or starting of a flat super trend. Parabolic is still showing buy. And you know what? Yeah, maybe it could actually take top. I don't know. So maybe I should stop at the $10 loss and not push it to the so 10, 5, 10, next one should be like 30, and not push it for the next minute. Although, let's take a look again with 1 minute, see what's going on over there. Alright, so in 15 seconds, I'm going to be out of money in this case as well. But the growing red bars should also kind of point out that it's got potential for going lower. Alright, let's take one more position. There we go. Alright, we got fractal says now that says going up. So the only thing that stands against the buy signals. Right, we got super trend, but we got, parabolic saying going down. So, yeah, no, I'm going to stop at this. So the next one is going to be, so I've lost 45, next one's going to be 90 bucks, but I'm probably going to open it either with a different asset or a bit later when a few other signals align. Alright, so there we go. Wait a second. Okay, we got this approach here. We got a buy signal there. There is a relatively good support level that's been going up for a while here, right? It's nice and kind of, I don't know, vivid, right? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4. We're kind of like, well, I would say that this is 4. So anyways, this is good. All right, so this is not exact science. Let's give it a little bit more. We got an upward trend that seems like it's been going on longer than the previous, according to Schaff, right? So from here to here, it was very aggressive and then retraced from here to here. It retraced, for a sell signal, but right towards the, I don't know, this was actually right at the end of it already. And a buy signal here, and yes, it was establishing higher highs. Alright, let's go back here and see. We got a buy signal here. Maybe this is something that's going to be breaking out and going up again, but this is, we got this kind of leeway here, right? So it's been touching, this is, right, wait, we could have actually done it like this. Alright, with 3-minute candles, let's take a look. How does it look with 5-minute candles? Yeah, it kind of looks like it's at the tips of this. But nevertheless, so still an upward trend, very aggressive move. I think that it's still going to be going down at some point because there's lots of room here for it to go down and then to bounce back up and test it. And then at that point, maybe it's going to go higher because yes, it's been actually, when we look at other time intervals, it's got places to go higher, right? So if we horizontal line, probably somewhere here, I would say there was a resistance over here, here. All right, so if it does break through, it does have the next, maybe even a little bit smaller, maybe somewhere here first, all right, across this, somewhere here across this. But at some point, yeah, maybe we can go, pretty much say that if it's going to break out, it's going to go higher still. We got like a really nice level point here with a 10-minute. Wow, we actually got a really nice. Let's make it a little fatter. There we go. And let's copy it. I would say that we got a relatively good channel of this asset here. So 1, 2, kind of 3. We got like a maybe double top even here. Right, going up, and after it broke this neckline, it had the potential to go down lower. Lower to what point? This is the lowest point in the previous, in the nearest past. So there. Anyway, so this is just really, comes down about being patient enough to see a good signal. Here we got, at this point there was a buy between the accelerator oscillator, between the shaft. Fractal here, kind of popped up. There it is. And for a while there was actually parabolic that was also hinting a buy position. So that's pretty nice with the 10-minute. All right, and we see, these kind of moments, we don't really see them very often. All right, so we have shaft. It's, barely went outside and came right back down here. But so there was shaft was a sell signal here. Though it might have been a little bit confusing. So with the next 10 minutes, you saw parabolic stay on top. We got the crossing over here. So maybe at that point, yeah, you could have also done that. So, but look, this is the signal that happened at like 5:30. This is a signal that happened like 2.5 hours later, right? So these are good signals. You can see, I mean, we've got some decent movement right there and there. Right, for a buy signal here, look, we got parabolic, we got super trend. So, we got a really nice level point here with a 10-minute. All right, and we see, these kind of moments, we don't really see them very often. All right, so we have shaft. It's, barely went outside and came right back down here. But so there was shaft was a sell signal here. Though it might have been a little bit confusing. So with the next 10 minutes, you saw parabolic stay on top. We got the crossing over here. So maybe at that point, yeah, you could have also done that. So, but look, this is the signal that happened at like 5:30. This is a signal that happened We got crossing with the accelerator. We got confirmation from shaft. So, but this was like at almost 3 o'clock. So we're talking about like 2.5 hour difference. But look, damn, these signals are good. All right, so this is where you have to make that decision. Do you want to trade on a minute basis, or because if you don't have time, it probably is the best, the best case scenario. But if you're like me, for example, if my wife goes shopping and my kids are, with the babysitter, I could sit in front of my PlayStation, play, I don't know, whatever, Need for Speed or something, and I could keep an eye out on this. I can play for like 2 hours and see, hey, wait a second. There's a convergence of all of these indicators, and, hold on, pause the game, take a position, and there we go. I mean, reap the rewards. If you got fewer positions per day, but depending on your statistics, what if you got like 5 trades, but 4 of them are in the money throughout the day? Then don't open for $1. Open for 5, open for 10, open for 100. Really depends on your balance. But statistically speaking, I mean, obviously you don't open for like 50% of your balance. That would be stupid. And actually, I'm not even shy of that word. Usually it's not politically correct, but that's dumb. If you open a position that you got $1,000 and you open a position at $500, you know what? Don't call it smart. It's gambling. All right. But if you got a very good success rate with certain kind of indicators, but you get only like 4 or 5 signals per day, then just occasionally hop back in, kind of take a look, make a conclusion. Hey, you know what? It's probably not going to come back to levels of interest for about an hour. Right. So go about your business, do your stuff, then hop in and take a look. Just kind of get an update. And by the way, this is the beautiful thing about pocket option. You see this little, you see this, kind of, dots right here. You can able to get notification, when you get, when the asset gets to this point. I mean, obviously in the settings, you have to kind of open, this opportunity to get notifications, but you are able to, set, hey, if it ever reaches this level, I want to know about it. You go about your business, your phone buzzes, you're like, oh, nice, and take advantage of it. All right, so as I was, wait a second, euro dollar OTC. Well, we got 10 minutes, but what do we got with 1 minute? All right, we got sell signals, we got growing bars. I don't know if I want to open up a $90 position already because that would kind of threaten my entire profit that we've made today because it is a little bit late. See, we kind of got like almost like a channel going here sideways as well, so I don't feel very comfortable with this. Ah, crud. I should have opened the position here somewhere. All right, let's see if we can spot something else. All right, we got, this is what? First of all, this is 1 minute, but we got a nice downward, if we take a look, maybe at 3. You see, we got a beautiful downward trend that at some point it has to end. But I really like what I see from shaft over here. Right, this nice little whoosh up, whoosh up, whoosh up. This is a downward trend. We got on this candle right here, we got a fractal saying down. We got a shaft that's already at the top, and we got a red bar. So I'm not really, in this case, trusting. The only thing I'm not trusting is the parabolic. Parabolic is showing that it's going to be going up. I would say that it is possible, right? Because, I mean, we got multiple points of contact. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, right? It's not ideal. This could have been actually like a false breakout. So I'm still hesitant to open any position here. We got mixed signals. We got this that's on top that should be retracing and, kind of curving out based on the bar, the red bar that's now here. See, this is actually a really good kind of situation. This is the kind of trading that I like. All right, crossing over, there's a buy signal here, but the trend is your friend. So we're looking to be selling. So I'm looking for, right, in the next 42 seconds, this candle will close and maybe we'll get a different signal. So once again, it's not about taking, shooting from the hip. We're not like a machine gunner. Yeah, just hopefully we hit something. We're more like snipers, and we should If it misses, we adjust a little bit and we wait, for our next opportunity. All right, let's go back to 1 minute, because here we got this kind of beautiful situation pointing that it might go back down as well. Let's take a look at one. See, we got earlier signals. See, we got parabolic saying that it is going to go down. We got a crossing here. Though once again, I would still like a confirming signal. We got a super trend saying buy. We got parabolic saying sell. We got fractal saying buy. We got accelerator oscillator saying sell. And we got shaft that's been up, it's been going up for a while. We could theoretically also start a bit of an upward trend right here. See, we got parabolic switching to the bottom now, saying that it's going to be going up. And you know what? I'm starting to think that it's a good idea to open, though I'm going to wait a little bit more. I'm going to wait for the second dot from parabolic, and look, see, we got already a crossing of the zero line. So in the next 9 seconds, there we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? All right, let's go up. Oh, I didn't. Let's go up. All right, let's go up. All right, let's see what do we got here. All right, so we're doing it till the end of the candle. And so what are we basing this on? We're basing on the crossing of the zero line, though remember I said that I don't usually like to do it when it's like this. Well, yeah, I still don't like doing this, so it came here, kind of started sooner. We got parabolic, we got super trend, so there's a bunch of indicators saying that it should be going up. In the next 20 seconds, we should see if this is, truly the case. So, and then we're going to continue to do our analysis of other indicators. All right, 1 second. Yeah, we got spammers here. There we go. Notified my team. All right, we're in the money. Though, as I think that this was like by the skin of our teeth. Let's take a look at the last trade. All right, so yeah, it was by the skin of our teeth. I mean, it kind of started going up, but it's still sawing this level. It opened at 9. We opened at 9252, 9252.5. Wow, this was actually 925. Yeah, 92. Wait a second. For a higher position, 9252, 9252, 9252. But we went up, and all right, difference 4 points. How? 9252, 9252. Euro CHF. All right, I'm kind of missing something, but I know that this is like skin of the teeth. That we've won this position, not really, sure what the hell happened here. Resistance level, we got one here, goes across here, we go across here, so I still think it should be going up a little further, but we got confirming signals from the other indicators, but I guess we got growing bars, we got parabolic, we got super trend, and we got a breakout strategy. We got to understand that, man, if it's going down so long, it's like it's begging to go up for a while. So maybe I would have taken a bit more aggressive. Still, $90 is kind of, hard, but, if I opened another for like, $250 on this candle, because as I mentioned, I still believe the fact that it should have gone up, and on this candle, we definitely would have won on the 4th step marking. Actually, no, even on the 5th, right? How many did we lose? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, on the 5th step martingale. Anyways, all right, let's take a look here. What do we got? And how much time do we got? Yeah, so we've been trading for about for almost an hour. All right, so we got a 2-point contact. Let's take a look what the hell we got here. We got a 2-point contact for this. And I would say that we got one with a false breakout somewhere. Kind of like this, right? But see, in this kind of like, I don't know, GBP AUD, I don't know. This one is something that I would stay away from because look, most of the candles are wicks instead of bodies. So it means there's like volatility, there's this tug of war that keeps happening, and it's a little weird, right? Also, I actually, yeah, they look like carrots, right? Where everyone has a sprout. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't even look at this one. Okay, let's take a look at GBP USD. All right, we got like a nice resistance level that was broken through right now. We just missed it. All right, we just missed it if we kind of take a look from here. Kind of like this, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, we got nice. On the seventh time it broke through, we got a crossing here, we got a shaft, we got parabolic, and most importantly, we got a breakout. So now we have a support level. So we got super trend that's about to go under here, but see, remember super trend, it's a really also kind of interesting indicator. Just it's very easy. It's pointing up, you buy, right? But when it starts to flatten out, you kind of also understand that maybe the trend that's been building, right, the momentum that's been going, it might not really be, or it might be time to stop. All right, so we got, what do we got? We got, do I want to go up? See, this is another thing that I would have quite, hesitancy with right now. Look, if we take this position right here, look how long it took for it to go back down, or to go down. From this level, it took, let's see, what time was here? 2114, right? So 2114 to 2140. Right? So let's say like it was like 30 minutes it took to go from here to here. And then we're looking at 1 minute candles. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 minutes to go back to that level. Almost to that level, right? So there we go. It kind of touched it. So the fact is that it went up so quickly, it would make me question that I think that it should be going for a bit of a retracement. Exactly what it's doing right now. Shaft could actually confirm this because from here it said buy, it did go up to this point. Then here it could round out. We could see a red bar and watch this asset come back down or even go sideways to this level. So far we got kind of stretching the truth with the 1, 2, 3. It's probably more likely like 1 and 2. So we should see after any kind of fast jump, we should see a bit of a retracement or maybe a bit of sawing at this level. Right, so we're looking at that it's been a support level for the nearest past, and it could be that point where it's going to resist going. So it could establish a new higher high. It could go a little higher, but in this case, maybe we could take a look at indicators like ATR and understand that the volatility is super low. All right, so look, when it's here, look at these candles, they're small. All right, so now it's still saying buy, it's going to go up, the bars are growing, but the volatility is super low. There were lower points as well, of course, but still, it's not really something that encourages or kind of I don't know, paints a picture of a big candle of you winning by like 10, 20 pips. Right, so let's take a look at others. UAH. Honestly, if truth be told, I don't even know what the hell the currency is that. What kind of currency it is. If somebody knows what kind of currency is UAH, write down in the comments right now. Give me, educate me a little bit, just like I'm trying to educate you a little bit too. All right, so we got a starting point of a possible level of, all right, look at that, right? We got a 1, we got a 2, but it's kind of like 1, 2, so hopefully it goes back down to test. And we got a shaft saying here sell, we got super trend saying sell, we got parabolic says sell, we got a crossing. This was a good signal, this was a good point, but I'm a little bit late for it. Right, so right now, there we go. We got a possible second point, and this was the lowest that it's been for a for a while. Actually, I would say for a very long while. So is it going to continue to go down? This is very fast, which kind of makes me also think that it's going to pull back a little bit. All right. So let's, yeah, we could also maybe even put a trend line here on the top and see if it's going to continue. All right. There we go. One line broke out. Let's see if it's going to continue. We've got a bit of green. I don't know. Let's take a look at USD BDT. Okay, we got a decent support level. Let's take a look at it with a 3-minute, right? Let's see. Wow, look at that. Very aggressive. And as I keep mentioning, nothing, if anything goes down, if it goes down for such a long time, it can't go down forever. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4, we got 5, right? Almost 6 right here. There you go, very aggressive on the 7th one, but still, wow, it's been going down forever. Actually, this is where I would probably be very excited to see. There we go. See, we got this kind of crossing. If on the 5-minute it starts to cross, it starts to round out. See, I usually say that fractal 2 has got kind of like an early system, early signal system. So it is on this candle, it did say buy, 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 and we're looking at this massive downtrend, and a super trend is flattening out. Parabolic at the end of 3 minutes and 43 seconds from now is going to go on the bottom. There's going to be a crossing, there's going to be a rounding out, and at that point I could expect several green candles, probably first one to about here. All right, maybe then afterwards, maybe a little bit higher to about this point right here because of these times that the asset was bouncing off of this level. Whether as a support or as a resistance, we don't yet know. So trend is your friend. I'm still, in here, this is where I would, I don't know, go get myself a cup of coffee if it wasn't already super late. All of my kids are watching cartoons right now, waiting for me to finish the stream so that I can put them to bed. But yeah, I mean, this is actually really good. USD BDT OTC with 5-minute candles. You see, we got a, kind of low, getting bars that are smaller and smaller. And this is something that's good. Once again, it's showing that in very, very short time, very soon, it should break this particular resistance level. Once it does, you will have several green candles, which means in 5 minutes, if you got, let's say 3 green candles with 5 minutes each, that means there's 15 minutes worth of a trend that's going to be riding upwards, right? So this is where, you might start, saying, hey, wait a second, there's one, but let's see if there's going to be a second point contact in 9 seconds. If this candle is going to, well, it looks like it's going to go down lower, and we got diminishing bars here. The parabolic is going to switch to the top, so we could essentially, open a position. Let's open a quick one for a sell. All right, because there isn't. With 1 minute, it looks like, yeah, there's going to be a crossing over of the zero line. We got fractal, we got parabolic, and the fact is that this is still adjustable to see, that second point contact. Super trend is flat with 1 minute, right? It's not pointing down, which also kind of is a signal in itself. And it looks like we should be winning this, but just in case, right, you go for the next minute and you increase the trade, the trade position for something bigger. But anyways, my dear, dear friends, again, I want to stress the importance that if you want to build your financial independence, if you want to be true, kind of working for yourself instead of Uncle Bob, or Uncle Sam, or Uncle somebody, do reach out. You know what? It's never going to be any kind of bad emotions. Touch base with me, with Morpheus, with my team. Ask your questions. Get one-on-one consultations. It's free of charge. Talk to me about what kind of things that you wish to achieve. let's discuss how realistic they are and what kind of time frame you should be able to expect something like this and what is involved. As I mentioned, never, ever, ever, ever have I ever asked anybody to trust me. My word. These videos that I'm doing, they're not pre-recorded. You're able to click on the link below with pocket option. You'll be able to see as I'm doing this. Look at the times. The times are available in the videos. You'll be able to see that the charts exactly match. They're going to be exactly the same for you. So the things that we discuss, they're, over a course of very long time, they're proving to be accurate. Right? I'm making money every single day with you guys, right? So this is something that you can do as well. I'm not the wizard, even though I am the Morpheus. I'm trying to give you the truth, my dear friends. And let's see, tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. What the heck do we got planned for you guys then? All right, so tomorrow, Thursday, oh goodness, I mean, I don't even know what today's the 18th. Yeah, tomorrow. Oh, the GB. Wait a second. Double trouble. Wait a second. Tomorrow we got GBP interest rates. There we go. So we're going to do the stream even earlier than, well, much earlier than today, earlier than usual. Usually we do it at 1600 or 13 or 1500 based on some of the statistics that are released, or if there's nothing else, we do technical analysis trading with you guys. We make money. But tomorrow at 2 p.m. GMT plus 3 time, there's going to be monetary policy summary, official bank rate, votes, and official bank rate. So we're talking about interest rates for the GBP. And you're absolutely right that GBP is the most volatile of all currencies, which means that we should see a decent spike followed by a retracement. You've heard it from me, you heard it here first, perhaps not first, but I'm showing that this works. So reach out to me, my dear friends, if you got any questions. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Later.